Hi, my name is Phil Wilder and I teach in the Social Studies Department, and this is Teacher Features. Okay, and today I was going to talk about technology and how it allows the world to come into the classroom and the classroom to go out into the world. You know, I always love taking field trips and realizing that sometimes we're limited by our location, but thinking now with the computer and the various programs, there's all sorts of capabilities that are there. I've always had guest speakers. So it's almost been 2 years ago when Rosie Rios, a former student, an alum from Rowe Catholic High School, was named Treasurer of the United States using technology. Sent her an email. She sent an email back right away and asked if it would be possible to set up a meeting with her on Skype. And she was incredibly forthcoming, and that started the ball rolling. And in the library, up on the screen, the students from my classes and other classes as well could see the Treasurer of the United States before her name had actually appeared on any denominations of American bills in her office, and she was able to say, and right outside my window I could see the White House. It was just incredible. So, you know, that was through the usage of Skype. But here at the school, we also have live stream, which allows us to broadcast, and for people who are watching it to interact with it by sending messages. So I thought this would also be a great idea as well. So one of the things we did with mock trial was we had a trial take place in the library. We've had attorneys, alums who've worked with the team, weren't able to be there, but we had it live streamed. They're able to watch it, and then they were able to not only watch it, but send comments about it. So it's as if they were there. It is just remarkable. So live stream definitely works in that regard. And then I've done review sessions in the past, and you know, we're located in Hayward, but students travel many distances. I live in San Leandro, and I thought, well, during the break, why don't we do our own version of a fireside chat? Why don't I go ahead and use live stream? And Ariaga, the librarian, the wizard of it all, showed me how to do it. And so over the spring break, from my office at the house, we did a live stream for it. Students were able to watch it. And not only were students able to watch it in my class, but there was a student who goes here who just happened to pop in on it, and there was also an alum who popped in on it. And I'll show you how to get there. The capabilities are really remarkable. So what you do is you go to academics and go to the library, and there it is, okay? And then as you scroll down, you'll see all the great resources that are available. And you go to web links, and then you go to the MCHS Library live stream. And it's partly commercial sponsors for that, so there's always a little commercial to see, which is fairly brief. But then after that, it allows you to access the Moreau Catholic live stream. Not only can you watch something in progress, but you can also see past streams as well. So as I come down here, you'll see the latest videos. You can see there was a March Parent Club meeting where Mike Aquino led, and so therefore people can come back and reference that. And you can see here from the 2 sessions that I held during the spring break. So I'll click on one. And so what I did was I had the camera, in the office, and part of it was going through material with the students, reviewing for the AP exam coming up. They watched the screen, and then I thought, well, this is just like the fireside, and how important technology was with the radio. I'm not sure whose chin that is. Might be mine, but maybe not. Anyways, here's what the students are looking at. We're just doing a test pattern right here. And as important certainly as the radio was to the 1920s and television was to the 50s, obviously the computer takes it to a whole nother level, because you could only be a receiver basically, right, in terms of radio and television. And now with the computer, we're broadcasting. So here it is, low tech, live, fireside, sans fireside chat, and I don't know whose hand that is. Anyway, so then after that, I would talk over the microphone. The students could all hear me. They couldn't speak back to me, but they could send text messages, and then I would respond to that. And I think it went pretty well. There were definitely some areas that need to be improved upon. most notably my profile, but in addition to that, just some of the technical parts as it's happening. So that, I think, really was a big bonus, and I think there's a lot that can happen. At the school we do so many different activities, and we certainly have MCTV, but now with live stream, it would allow not only the Moreau community, but the world basically to hone in and see on that and actually exchange information. We look forward to using this much more in the future. So in addition to using the technology to, again, bring the world into the classroom and the classroom out into the world, in terms of specifically for history, this year we thought what greater thing to do than to use oral history as part of the junior U.S. history students' final assessment. And technology just afforded us so many great opportunities to create a documentary on American contemporary history using oral history as the focus for that. So once again, through the library, we have been able to create some remarkable resources. So we're going to the library again, so here we go. And once you come to the MCH Library Resources, go to the LibGuides. Some people say LibGuides, but I go for LibGuides. And as you can see, there is a plethora of resources that have been created by the library. And these links are certainly more than links. It opens up into a window and really opens up into a wing of the library. It's like going to the Smithsonian by just making this link. So we'll click on oral history. This gives the students the information and background on oral history, and there are links to various sources. There's also a trailer from a woman who was a Rosie the Riveter, who during World War II worked in industry, helped in the production on the assembly line, and this is really what our goal was, is that history is certainly in the books, but we really want to get the life part of the history there and for people to tell either her or his story by using the technology. So with the laptops, the students have the ability to have the camera and to do the editing and to do the producing. It's remarkable. It's Warner Brothers Studios all in this little laptop right in front of us. Ken Burns, when he did the Civil War documentary, was very historic in terms of how it opened people's eyes to what history was and what it could become. And I know that Cal State Hayward, when that happened, began to offer the opportunity to get a master's by creating a video versus a written thesis. And now the students have all this right at their fingertips. So this is what the project focuses on. First, they'll go to LibGuides, and they'll get a better understanding of what oral history is. And there's many resources to help them, from how to frame a question and how to do the research and to contact a person. We've asked them to find a person who's at least 65 years young and to go ahead and ask them about what they felt were the 3 most important developments, which could be a living person or could be an event, a decision, etc., that has affected American history and its people during their lifetime. So there is the interview part that takes place, which they've actually all have started to do that. And they use their computer and using, for the most part, iMovie to record that. So one of the components is obviously to talk to someone who's 65 years of age and hopefully family members. But sometimes a family member doesn't live in the local area. So a student said, can I go ahead and interview someone even though they aren't, close by where I can go to their house? And I said, of course. And so I went to the library and talked to Ms. Ariaga again and figured out that we could go ahead and use Skype and then to be able to save that and include that on iMovie. So there are going to be students who will be interviewing family members across the country about their experiences as if they are there, only separated really by just a computer screen, in a very live, as if they were there, interactive experience. And then they're going to be able to use that footage and put it in their documentary and share the experiences of a grandparent or a great aunt or uncle and what it was like in their lifetime. And the separation of thousands of miles is diminished completely by Skype. So it is just a phenomenal opportunity for people to connect. I remember growing up and we used to send reels of tape from when tape recorders were just coming out and just hear people's voices. But now it's not even just seeing film and footage, but to realize that you're looking at a live person across the way, and the interaction is just a millisecond for all that. It's very exciting. So that's another, I think, great component of the oral history and a wonderful part about technology, because I think so much about technology is to make us feel like we are closer to each other. And we can talk about how it might separate us in all those aspects about the philosophy of technology. But to be able to sit in your room and to someone be in their room, to be able to face have that connection is priceless. So that's maybe an intended or unintended consequence of the project. Now, after that, they're going to be doing research. And in their research, they've got to find sources. And one of the great resources here in the library, and I keep using the word resources because there's so many of them, is to use NoodleBib. So it's NoodleBib. And what happens, which is great, it allows the students to go ahead and put all of their resources that they find online, and also allows them to be printed up in a very easy and appropriate way through MLA Advanced format. But it also allows me, the instructor, to create a Dropbox to go ahead and have them put it there. There it is. Okay. So here it shows projects shared with me. And so the students create their own project. Then they'll say share, and they'll share it with their instructor. And here, let's just go to this one right here. And you can see the students and the sources that they have. And here, let's go to one just to give you an example. So she has had her interview. She's talked to people. And now she's doing research. And in her bibliography component, she puts in the information that's there. And what's great, it designates if it's a primary source, because they have to have a certain number of primary sources and secondary sources and comments. This is, the greatest thing since sliced bread, if that means anything to you, but it is just phenomenal as an instructor and as a student for them to keep track of their resources. And then they will be going to iMovie and then using the footage that they have from the oral history interview and from other primary sources, visual sources and video sources that they found. They will use the voice of the narrator, in some cases being the person who they spoke to, and in some cases themselves, to weave together a history that will incorporate the person's individual experiences and the historical American experiences to have a 15-minute documentary. So where does this go? Well, you know how there's over probably 700 television channels on your TV at home with cable TV? There's a new television station that hopefully you'll be able to see, and it's called Wilder Television. Through Google, we are able to create our own TV channel. So when the students will create their documentary, they will go ahead and download it on YouTube. They'll share that link with me, and then it will be posted up on my class television channel called Wilder History. And we will go take a look at that. So here it is. You've heard of Ted Turner, and now this is Phil Wilder's U.S. History's channel here. And here, it not only allows for the students to post up theirs so that people can watch it, but it also allows me to put other resources that I found for people to come look at. So they now can not only read history, but they can talk to people who basically live through history and in the end create their own history. So Ken Burns, step aside, and who knows who the next great documentarian will be. Thank you.